Well, hi, friends. I'm Brian Cosby. This is Provide and Protect. You know, every year they have SHOT Show out in Las Vegas. And SHOT Show is a huge trade show for everybody that's into like guns, gear, hunting, shooting, anything in that world. And there were like, I think, close to 60,000 people there, which is crazy. And then they had something close to 3,000 exhibitors. So all kinds of booths. And when I talk about a booth, I'm talking some of those booths there are enormous. Like, for example, the Glock booth. I mean, it's like a full building that they somehow set up and built in this big trade show area. So let me give you my pros first, and then I'll tell you my cons. My wife went with me, by the way, so if you don't make it to my cons, you need to know that. But here's my pros. The pros of this are that, number one, you get to meet a lot of cool people, a lot of people that support the Second Amendment, a lot of Christians, just a lot of really down-to-earth guys and girls. Most people were guys there, for sure. I'd say like 90%, it seemed like, just walking around are dudes. So just a lot of really great guys, really cool people. And, you know, we have a lot of sponsors on this channel, and most of those sponsors are at SHOT Show. And so I was able to go and talk with and meet with some of our sponsors and get to have some food with them as well. A lot of fun. I mean, we were able to look at a lot of new products coming out from a lot of different companies. And so we've been able to release some of those already on this channel, some of the things for 2026 and beyond. So that's really cool. The other thing is I really liked about SHOT Show is I was able to meet new companies, new people, and a lot of networking events that they have. And so after hours, they've got all kinds of events and concerts and things like that. They had a 250th kind of celebration of America there as well. But people from all over the world are there. So it's not just Americans. I mean, you've got companies from all over the world represented there, Europe, Asia, everywhere else. I'd say, though, predominantly American companies for sure. So those are all positives. And I would say, too, that being able to look at new gear as it's coming out and talk with the people that are building it, you know, manufacturing, designing it, all of that. I mean, you can really geek out, nerd out on a lot of the cool stuff. I mean, a couple of the conversations I had with certain companies with like suppressors or, silencers, that kind of thing, and all kinds of detailed information. Got to talk for a while with the Daniel Defense folks. Awesome company. So those are all positives. So I think it's also another positive is just reminds me that I'm not alone. Sometimes running a YouTube channel can be a little isolating. You feel like, okay, I'm just kind of putting these videos out to a world. Now, I know we've got people watching and all that and commenting, and that's all very appreciated for sure. But, sometimes you can still feel like, okay, it's just you and a few people. Well, you go to something like this and you're like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. So that was encouraging. I think overall, very, very encouraging. Here's my negatives. Let me just say this. There's one that's maybe a negative and a positive. So depending on how you look at it, and then I'll get into what I believe are negatives about SHOT Show. But the one that's kind of, depending on your perspective, how you look at it, the negative positive is that it is only for those that are in that industry. In other words, if you're just some random dude and you just want to go to SHOT Show, you can't. You can't register. You have to prove that you have some kind of business in the industry of shooting, knives, outdoor gear, hunting, something like that, bulletproof vests or I don't know, something like that. So you got to prove, and they have to verify and check, your EIN and your information when it comes to, sorry, someone's calling me on my phone right now. Let me turn this off. All right, we're good now. Yeah, so it's a positive or a negative, depending on how you look at it. The positive, I guess, side is that you don't have just a lot of just random people there. You have people that are very invested in this kind of business. They had a governor's forum, for example, and we had state governors that were there and talking about Second Amendment rights, those kinds of things. So it's again, major event. And I think if they just opened it to everybody, they just wouldn't have space for the people who are in the industry. So I think it's a little esoteric. It's a little selective. And again, you could look at that as a positive or a negative. So I guess depending on who you are. But here's my negatives about SHOT Show. The truth really about SHOT Show for me, kind of eye-opening. The biggest negative, in my opinion, is the location. I just do not like Las Vegas. I've never been there before, so this is my first SHOT Show to go to, and I just think that Las Vegas, they call it Sin City, and I think that's for good reason. There's just, it's just tons of lights and music. All night long we're listening, trying to go to sleep and listening to loud music everywhere outside and inside. And, it was, we were staying at Harrah's, which is right next to the convention center. So they actually had two different convention center locations for this. I think it was something like 14 acres roughly of floor space. So you had the Venetian, the Caesars. It's just enormous areas. So with these big booths and everything, but it was just so many lights, so many. You get off the plane in the airport in Las Vegas, and you're met immediately with all the gambling stuff. Now, this is my opinion. If you love that kind of lifestyle, loose lifestyle and lots of lights and loud music and gambling and all of that, well, that's the city. That's the city. It definitely lived up to its name, or its reputation, I should say. And so my wife and I were pretty turned off by that. I get up really early most mornings, usually 3:45 to 4:15, something like that. So 4 o'clock, I'm usually up. So, I'd go down to the lowest level, the lobby, at 4, in the morning, and there's still people up from the previous night. I'd go get a cup of coffee, and do some work down there. And there's people still up gambling and partying and all that from the night before. And so anyway, that was a big negative for me. I just wish it'd be, somewhere, another city. Go to Dallas, go to Atlanta, go to some other city other than Las Vegas. That's just, I don't know. It's just not, it's a big turnoff for sure. So I'd say another negative about it is it does get pretty confusing, just the layout of everything, because there's so many. You're walking down these enormous corridors and hallways, and every room you look into, there's another full display or another full tons of booths. Like I said, there's I think close to 3,000 exhibitors, something like that. Tons. So everywhere you look, there's a whole new room full of exhibitors and businesses and companies, and they put a lot into it, for sure. So I can't imagine how long it takes folks to set up for that. I would imagine a month. It has to, just with some of the things they had to build in there. But I think it just got very confusing, and we had people asking me and my wife all the time, "Hey, do you know where to go to find the elevators to this?" And now I will say that they tried their best. SHOT Show tried their best. They put out signs everywhere, and to kind of guide you to certain locations and that kind of thing. So they tried really hard. They had a lot of people on staff or volunteering, maybe being able to show you where to go, that kind of thing. But all in all, would I go back? Yeah, I kind of need to. I don't know if I'm going to go back 2027 or not. Maybe if I get enough, I don't know, enough time with some sponsors and partners out there, maybe so that'd be worth it. But definitely dude, if you are married, take your wife with you, just for the look of it, if nothing else. It's just, I don't know. So overall, the show itself was very cool. I love being with those people, with those companies, learning new things that are coming out. Everybody's trying to do something a little bit better. And that's a good, I think, rule of thumb for life. We want to always be improving. And so to look at some new gear, how this gear is best for good old hardworking Americans, and how we can do better at being providers and protectors for ourselves and our families and our communities. And that's really what it came down to. So we were classified as media there. So that was on our tags going around. But really appreciate USCCA and their work in this, and so also great partner with us. But I'll drop some links down below. But let me know your thoughts. If you wanted to go, or have you gone before? Is this something that you would like to do in the future? I'd love to hear your takes. And if you have other pros or cons that I've missed here in this discussion, go ahead and drop your pros or cons down in the comments as well. But thanks so much for your support for us and for our channel, and we'll see you on the next video.